What's good, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of JoJo News Flash, your source for JoJo news in a flash. Let's get right into some of the newer things that have been happening with the JoJo community, starting off with the most recent one, which is the volume cover of JoJoLands Volume 1 being revealed. And honestly, I think it's pretty awesome. I know a lot of people have been complaining a little bit because JoJo looks kind of weird when it comes to what he looks like when we look at him compared to his first ever drawing by Araki. The face looks really different, and I saw some people online calling it the Rohanification of JoJo and how they're going to start calling it JoJoLands because he looks like Rohan. And honestly, completely honestly, that is hilarious. I really like this Rohan meme. It's like the next coming of the JoJoLands meme that was really prevalent for a while. So personally, I'm down with this. For actually talking about the art, I don't think it looks bad at all. And obviously, that is not because I'm a Rohan stan, I just think it generally still looks pretty good. Obviously, it looks like a very different facial structure when we look at his original facial structure on the right here compared to what it is now. But I think it looks clean. I really love the background art with all the colorful lines in the background. We get a nice shot of the Hawaiian scenery. I think it's pretty cool, and we finally get the actual titles of the chapters, starting with the chapter Departure. Yeah, it's the departure. It's the heading off point of our journey, so it just makes sense. So I'm excited to see what the actual chapters look like in the volume form, if there's any changes inside as well. But the thing I'm most excited about is to actually see the beginning of the spine art that Araki's going to do for JoJoLands, because Araki has been absolutely killing it since part 4 with these amazing spine arts that show so many characters and this long running painting sort of style. I love it to death. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to go, and if it's going to be JoJo in the exact same pose he's been in every sort of major form of art for him in the entire part so far. And on the topic of manga sales, Viz Media is finally starting their translation of Stone Ocean after such a long time. And I'm super excited, obviously. Stone Ocean is one of my favorite parts, Jolene is one of my favorite JoStars, and the volume itself looks super clean in my opinion. I really wasn't a fan of what they did with the part 5 manga volume covers. I thought they looked kind of strange. I still do wish that they stuck with the JoJo parts 1 to 3 style where it's very uniform, but I do think that what they did with part 4 was pretty awesome. And with this, I think it also is super clean. I love the sort of inky style they gave to the text, and the sides look super clean with Jolene's sort of heart butterfly emblem and the sort of decal that's on her pants being on the side of the volume. It looks awesome. It looks really clean, and obviously I'm gonna get it as soon as I can. The news that's really intrigued me the most over the past few months has nothing to do with an anime, a manga, or the Rohan show or movie. It's actually all about JoJo finally getting a musical production. Now, I don't know about you all, but I assumed JoJo firstly could never be a musical just because of how complex everything is, how complex all the characters are and the abilities are. It would seem really strange to sort of adapt that into a musical. But then when I found out that JoJo Part 1 was getting adapted to a musical, it seemed to make a lot more sense. Part 1 is very focused on a sibling dynamic and emotional connection and a sort of battle between two people in particular, showing their different mindsets and following them from side to side. And honestly, I feel like that structure could really easily work in a musical, and personally, let's be for real, JoJo's style is very eccentric, and the sort of element of music that could be added into JoJo would be perfect, especially so since Araki is such a fan of music and references musicians all the time throughout the series. I feel like this is something I never really expected, but something that makes all too much sense. So honestly, I'm really curious to see how this pans out. I know a lot of people might think this is seemingly not that interesting or not nearly as cool as some anime, manga stuff, but seeing your favorite properties get transformed into something new is always pretty interesting in my opinion. Did I ever expect JoJo to have those live action Diamond is Unbreakable movies? No, I didn't. But I did give them a shot and I watched them and I was pretty impressed that they looked as good as they did and they were as faithful as they were. And obviously, I'm not going to say that they're better than the original, whether it's the manga or the anime. It's just different, and it's always cool to see something unique from a property you love so much. So I'm actually very curious to see what they do with this Phantom Blood musical. And again, I think what also makes it work really well is the fact that Phantom Blood is already, you know, an old-timey thing, and it would be able to adapt into some older musical styles, maybe some type of opera vibes. I don't really know how, you know, accurate it's gonna be to that, but it could be interesting to see, and I'm very curious to see my man Dio do his villain song. You know, that would be pretty cool. I don't know. I think the potential for this is just fun, and I'm excited to see how it pans out. Even though I'm not really a musical guy, I just think it's cool to see, like I said, new things from properties, new things that could be getting new people into JoJo. Because obviously musicals have a huge audience, so obviously it's going to be in Japan, but I don't know where it's going to be on the wild world of the internet, but I'll probably try and look for it if I can. On the topic of JoJo and musicals though, because I'm a segue master, I saw this really amazing clip on Twitter a few days ago where it turns out that this marching band called the Blue Devils, which firstly, I've never heard of them, but apparently they are a world-class marching band, which is pretty cool. Apparently they're pretty reputable, well-known. They did this amazing JoJo medley type of thing where they had Sonochino Sadame, they had the Stardust Crusaders theme. It was really cool. Again, I'm not a musical guy. I'm also not a band kid, so it feels like I'm like not the right guy to talk about this like in full because I don't really know the sort of craziness of what they're doing. But regardless, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see this marching band do this sort of medley thing. I liked it a lot, so I'm going to put a link in the description for anyone who wants to watch it. Would recommend you give it a watch. And the final and last thing I'm going to talk about in this video are the amazing musical merch drops that have been happening for the past little bit, announced for parts 5 and 6. Part 5 is going to get this absolutely amazing looking vinyl pressing, and I really like the gold splatter that they have on the vinyl. It looks pretty awesome, and obviously one of the best parts about part 5 by far is its music. The music in that part is so great, and obviously Giorno's theme was also just a massive meme, so I'm very hopeful that these are going to sell well and a lot more people are going to get into JoJo through the power of music. As I said earlier with, you know, Rocky being a music fan and all that, you guys already know what's up. I'm really excited to see if these vinyl pressings are actually good. I do own a lot of records behind me usually, but you can't really see them because they're not in shot. And although I know that vinyl records are like the it thing to get now, it's a huge trend and whatever, the merch I'm way more excited for is this amazing Stone Ocean CD collection thing that they're gonna sell, and it's actually CDs. Perfect, because obviously Whitesnake, Poochie, it's so on theme for the part, and I'm really excited for it. And the CDs for it of Jolene and Stone Free look absolutely amazing, and they look like Poochie's powers. This one I would rather get more than the Golden Wind one because it's just so cool, and it's like this ultra specific thing that only works for Stone Ocean, so I really like it. And that's the end of this video, but it's not the end of the news flashes because I have one for you all. This Saturday, I'm going to be doing a charity stream dedicated to all the people who are currently struggling in Maui due to the wildfires in Hawaii. I thought, since JoJo Part 9 is literally taking place in Hawaii, this could be a moment for our community to come together to help benefit people who really need help. I'm honestly usually quite a skeptic when it comes to charitable organizations because we don't know truly who's funding them or who's actually getting the money, but I found the Hawaii Community Foundation, which seems like a very genuinely good charity, and they specifically have a fund for Maui called Maui Strong, so all donations on the stream and donations to that organization obviously will be going to that organization. If you could spread the word and help encourage other people to check out the stream, it would be greatly appreciated. It's been your boy Kev, take care, and have a good one.